Welcome to Good to Geek Out, the place where it's good to geek out. You want to go somewhere and geek out, this is a place to come. We will be covering multiple forms of geekdom, multiple shades of geekdom, if you will. Quick introduction here. I am Editor, coming out of San Antonio, Texas, here with two lifelong friends here to talk about geeky things. That's all.
We're good to go. Welcome to Good to Go. This is Boba Fresh, Rob Strader from San Francisco. Looking forward to talking all things geeky with my friends and with you. Please feel free to subscribe, leave comments, and a little heads up. We will be talking spoiler-heavy things throughout this episode and throughout the series. Great to meet you.
Welcome to Good to Geek Out, Good to Go, a cornucopia of geekiness. We will be discussing various topics with my two lifelong friends. Hopefully we have some nice guests join us here and there. And we'd like to see what you guys would want us to talk about. Let's let our audience guide the show. Today we're going to be discussing the Disney Gallery, Mandalorian, behind the scenes, Ep.1. I completely enjoyed it. It's good to get, as much as I love the show, and as if you guys are watching the show, I'm sure you loved it as well. It was fun to get a behind the scenes look at it. What was your favorite part of the Geek Out gallery, Ed?
I like the general setup of a table of five people just geeking out over stuff. It's kind of a format I'm familiar with, and they're just talking amongst themselves. I think I did like I guess if I had to pick one of the directors, Dave Filoni, the cowboy geek. He seems very central in all of these movies. I mean, all the episodes, and he's like kind of the go-to guy for anything that's Lucas related or Lucas question. He'll have a good hands-on, and so I think you realize a lot of the Mandalorian has every episode has run through his hands as opposed to the rest of the other directors. I thought it was kind of cool, and you could tell when you hear him talk how emphatic he is about Star Wars. What was your favorite part, Strader, or something that stood out to you?
Ed, you make some great points, and Lucy is completely correct. The way that The Mandalorian has unfolded, especially with Dave Filoni at the helm, has been a beautiful... Damn, cornucopia is just stuck in my head. Hold on. But the way that Dave Filoni has handled the universe, and obviously Favreau needs to really be given a lot of credit. Sometimes it isn't just the directors and the editors, it's the executive producers who step in and they gather all of the talent. And I think that Favreau really needs to be given a lot of the credit for assembling such an amazing team of directors with such diverse visions and able to still tie them all in together. As you watch the series season 1 unfold, you do get that different pace and different vignettes of the same character, and it almost gives this feeling of you're reading a bunch of short stories written by different authors on the same character to get to the same point. And I just thought it was beautiful, and not to mention the sheer diversity at the table. Everyone really gets their say in the sense of representation and inclusion.
I can't pick one director because they all had their own points of how Star Wars affected them from their early childhood, how they're so excited to be part of this project, how each one is not so much a TV show as a mini movie, and how they appreciated Disney treating it that way. And when you go back and you watch the show, you can see each one is a mini movie and not just a TV show. And that's why I think I loved it so much. With our discussions of The Mandalorian, and anybody out there can go rewatch our reviews of The Mandalorian, can see that as well.
So I would just say, like when I realized who made which episodes in The Mandalorian, I think Deborah Chow was probably my favorite. She made episode 3 and episode 7, and that's the when the Mandalorians come out and defend Mando, and then also when IG-88 or IG-88 is that his name in this? IG-11 when he blows up and sacrifices himself. Two action-packed driven episodes, but still with some heart, which I liked.
And it was dope because Favreau notes that Deborah Chow is the action-hearted one. He says, it's in your bones. It's just in your vision and the way that it goes. And it's great, again, in this idea of inclusion and just going a different route, just bringing in a female director and being like, cool, like, we're not going to put anyone into categories. This is the one who's doing the most action. And then Rick Famuyiwa.
Yeah, it almost sounds like an Asian last name, which is really weird.
Right? Yeah, I kept throwing me off too. And then he had like that Japanese color block puffer jacket. I was just like.
But he also had on LA every day and every damn scene.
He did.
Like,
but yeah, Rick Famuyiwa is amazing. You see the awe that he has for working with these practical sets and being actually on site and being like, cool, like I want to work with the Jawas. Like, I'm trying to get more of this back and forth in. And so you really see the difference of not just the director's styles, but where they were within the story of Mando himself and how important that particular director's story was for that particular setup. For instance, Dave Filoni is the one who did the Big Bounty Hunter episode. And that's the one that had the footsteps at the end that had everybody like, whose footsteps are those? And I don't think that any of the other episodes really like have that, oh my God, there's a bigger universe out there that we know about and it's mysterious and we're going to get to it. Not to say that the world isn't beautifully explored, but the way that that story was told set us up for season 2, which we probably know who one of the 2 people that it is now. But I thought all in all, it was beautiful. Lucy, what do you think about Bryce Dallas Howard?
Amazing. I really enjoyed what she brought to the directing, her experience, and not just her. The diverse background of each director. Now, there's nepotism. She's the daughter of Ron Howard. So she had an end to the Hollywood machine, where the guy from New Zealand like made his own way into it. Dave Filoni was put into it. All these people with completely different backgrounds did wonderful in their own ways. It was nice to see that the experience that she brought to it. She had more of an acting background to it.
she did, but then I think they also noted that she kind of got the most fucked up episode to have to direct because it was right after the big action episode of The Mandalorian's coming out, and then her scene is like, or her episode is completely different from everyone else's. So the way she injected heart and injected a lot of like things that the show hadn't experienced yet, which made it kind of a one-off, but also tied it together. Because I think I remember when we were talking about it in a previous lifetime, I mentioned that it felt very like disconnected and like it was a filler episode, but then you guys explained to me pretty well how it wasn't. It was actually in character and expanded the universe. So
Yeah,
do that. Pretty dope.
and I definitely think that it was highlighted about just the femininity and feminism that was part of episode 4 that she had directed. And, they show, even the way that they edit this particular episode, like they show the kids hugging her and like all these things, like you feel the love that is on set, like almost how you feel certain energy within ciphers and all this other stuff. I thought that was really, really cool. And going on, Lucy, you're right. Like, I mean, I think part of it is nepotism, and then part of it is Steph Curry. Like, part of it is just like growing up around you know, like all of these artists. Like she's just like, I'm a kid bored at a dinner with George Lucas, Akira Kurosawa, and Ron Howard, just eating sushi.
And I took a nap in my dad's lap.
Exactly.
And I took a nap in my dad's lap.
and that's like an anecdotal that she's willing to tell us. And so again, like, you know, just in the sense of like, I was always like, Luke Walton might not be the greatest basketball player, but still every Thanksgiving he's shooting basketball with some of the greatest basketball players in the world. And so I think that she's kind of in that same vein where she's just been on this other level, seeing how her dad executes things on set and strikes, it, you know, just works. And when you're shown that kind of work ethic that young, you just can't help but to incorporate it, especially if it's something that's your passion. And it definitely is. And then to get to the Taika Waititi.
Correct.
To get to the Taika Waititi part, yeah, like Lucy, you're completely right. He has to spearhead and be his own vanguard. And he comes onto the scene with this amazing comic background, but where the Wilderbeest star is a very heartfelt, weird kind of movie, but it was dope. And he brings all of that comedy and that heart, and everyone, as we're saying, just has this little piece of the Trivial Pursuit pie that makes the complete thing work, because you're getting humor here, you're getting action here, you're getting heart here, you're getting a gritty, just broken down world here. Just the world building all in all is beautiful, and this was an amazing project for them to do. And I'm really glad that Disney decided to do this gallery and give us a look behind the scenes and how much these people loved it.
All right. On that note, we are good to go, right? All right. Geek out, geek on. Editor San Antonio. Shit, I just stole your line. Sorry, Strider.
Fucker, you fucker. This is Boba Fresh from San Francisco. Good to go. Go out there and geek out. Have a great day. Geek on and geek out.
Rob Lucy coming at you from Southern Oregon. Good to geek out with my friends once again. If you guys enjoyed this, give us a like. If you have an idea of something that you'd like us to cover, just go ahead and ask. If you want to be on a guest on this show, drop us a line and get in on one of these Zoom meetings. Let's get some audience participation going. Let's have some fun. Love to geek out with my friends. Love to hear diverse opinions, just like the diversity of the directors of The Mandalorian.